Welcome back to the Titan Talk podcast. Back with episode 23. It is the week of the draft. We're just, as the time of this going up, we're 1 day away from the first round here. And we're going to be giving our final choice on who we hope the Tennessee Titans draft this year in the 2026 NFL Draft. We're also going to be going over a discussion post this week that we posted about a week ago. It was, who is your least favorite player on the Titans? And then we're also going to be giving our pre-draft record prediction for the Titans and how many games we think they're going to win, how many we think they're going to lose if they make the playoffs. We're going to be giving our opinions on that. And then to wrap up this episode, we're going to be doing our final full mock draft for the Tennessee Titans to see how accurate we are this year with the draft predictions. But now we're going to get things started going over who our final choice is for the NFL Draft coming up tomorrow. Now jumping into it, we're going to be giving our final choice who we hope the Tennessee Titans draft at number 4. Or maybe they trade back. Who knows? We are going to get into our opinions on that right now. So who is your final call on who you want the Titans to draft this year?
I've spent the last probably 2 months of my life campaigning why we should not draft Jeremiah Love, why he's the worst option for the Titans to draft. And I feel like every week over the past 2 months, I've came a little bit closer to realizing that it's got my head a little bit, week by week, chipping away. I still do believe there are some concerns. I still don't believe it's the best draft pick for the whole team, for team improvement. But at this point, I don't care. Give me the running back from Notre Dame. Give me Jeremiah Love. Give me the best player, talent-wise, in the draft. Pair him up with Cam Ward. Who cares if we don't have a good defense? You know, you got to score points to win games. That's the goal, score more points than the opposing team. Listen, a fun offense that can put up 30 a game, even if we give up 40, at least it's fun to watch. Give me Jeremiah Love.
There is one thing I do want to mention about that. I do agree with you. I really want Jeremiah Love. He is my pick for the Titans in the first round this year. But you kind of have brought on, I would not hate getting David Bailey. You know, Arvell Reese, he's probably going at 2. Who in the world knows what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do? It looks like they're probably going to trade down, which kind of is getting me a little bit nervous that a team that wants Jeremiah Love might jump us and get him at 3. But we'll have to see what the Cardinals do there. But I think as it sits now, the Cardinals, they're either going to go offensive tackle from Miami or they're also going to go David Bailey. It's one of the two options if they stay at 4, I think.
I've also saw Sonny Styles in a lot of conversations, the linebacker from Ohio State. I think he's sort of raising up in the ranked drafts so far. But you mentioned trading back. I don't want to trade back. Trading back is, I don't know that for at least the Titans it's ever worked. But I just don't want to trade back. We got the number 4 pick. Let's pick a guy. I mean, I don't want to trade back is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I think the talent, like it's in the top 10, is so much better than the talent outside of the top 15.
Yeah.
I don't want to trade down with Kansas City or Seattle or Pittsburgh or any of those other teams.
I mean, you've seen what happened last time we traded back, right? It tore this team to pieces. We went on downfall. That's what ruined this team, in my opinion. But I really hope we don't trade down. Like you said, I think Jeremiah Love is the best full-around player in this draft. I do also want to touch on Sonny Styles. You've mentioned that as well. I'm starting to see a lot of people think the Titans might pick him at 4. Honestly, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility because if you look at it, if we're going defensive player here and David Bailey's gone and if Arvell Reese is gone, I think he's going to be the option there if we're going to take defense.
I think we got to take an edge, though, Nate. We got to take an edge, right? He's the best linebacker in the draft, but come on.
I think after what's came out about Bain, I don't think we pick him. But now we're going to get into the discussion post this week and on who is your least favorite player from the Tennessee Titans and why. So we're going to get into y'all's comments and give our opinions on that right now. We're going to get into this week's discussion post on who is your least favorite player from your favorite team. We have a couple of people here that has a different favorite team, so we're going to get into their comments as well. But we're going to get into our thoughts first. So, Luke, who is your least favorite player from the Tennessee Titans in all of history?
Listen, there's a lot of subject matter here. Jack Conklin's up there for me. Jonathan
Wow,
Joseph's up there for me. Dennis Daly is up there for me. Xavier Estrepo, Traylon Burks. We got a lot of guys to pick from here, but I'm going to go with one that probably not a lot of people are going to expect. Corey Davis.
Wow.
I cannot stand Corey Davis. This guy was just not even good for the Tennessee Titans. He had one good game against New England in the playoffs. Then he sucked for another couple of games. And then when it was time for his contract year, he decided to turn into freaking prime Jerry Rice and go for over 1,000 yards. Then he didn't accept the contract that we tried to pay him, so he went to the Jets where he sucked. And then he retired early. I think had Corey Davis had been reasonable, not had a huge ego, and stayed with the Tennessee Titans, imagine that 2019 going into the next 2020s on and so forth with Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Corey Davis. We could have been so good. We could have been better. We could have been better, Nate. I can't stand Corey Davis. He's my least favorite Titan player of all time.
I was really not expecting that. I thought he's going to go with offensive lineman for sure, because we've had our fair share of those over the past couple of seasons. Which I want to go ahead and say I don't have one specific one that really stands out to me. I have like a pool of like 3 or 4 players here that I just cannot stand. One of them is Isaiah Wilson. He was a terrible player. He was. It was the regular season. I think it was supposed to be his debut as starting on the offensive line. We was playing I think it might have been Baltimore. It was somebody up north or maybe New York. It was someone like that. And we was getting ready for the game apparently, and the team was about to go out for warm-ups. And apparently they was looking for where Isaiah Wilson was. Do you know where he was at?
I don't know.
At a house party in Miami, Florida. So I think that was the final straw in his stint with Tennessee there. He clearly did not care about playing football the entire time he was here. He also put out a rap album. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
It was terrible. It's great. It's a great listen, but it's terrible. But another guy I do want to mention, a couple, they kind of fall under the same boat. Andre Dillard and Jalen Duncan. It's Jalen Duncan and Andre Dillard. I cannot stand either one of those two guys. They do not know how to play football. You've seen it in the UFL. I think Jalen Duncan is the starting offensive tackle for the DC Defenders, and he apparently is one of the worst offensive linemen in all the UFL currently. And just to think that he was a starter for the Tennessee Titans, that shows you a lot of where this team's been the past couple of years. So it's him. Also, Christian Fulton is another name you can bring around. He was terrible. He gave up terrible penalties. I have a lot. I'm just not going to ramble on here. We're going to get into y'all's comments right now. First up, we have Delmore007. He says, current probably Calvin Ridley, but could change depending on how he plays up to his original contract this season. Past is definitely Azeez Al-Shire, just an all-around dirty player who takes cheap shots trying to hurt the quarterbacks. I agree. Al-Shire was really that type of player. You've seen him, I think, he was on the Texans, right, whenever he injured, Trevor Lawrence, and took him out the rest of the year. He does kind of bring on that type of character of a player, I think.
I'm fine with Azeez Al-Shire. I don't hate him. I like him. I mean, you're not going to get mad at me for trying to kill Trevor Lawrence or anyone like that. Who was this other guy? Calvin Ridley. I don't hate Calvin Ridley. I think he's been pretty good, but he just got so overpaid. I mean, we broke the bank for him, and he's been disappointing compared to what we paid him.
I think extremely disappointing if you count last year, because, what did he do? Nothing. That week 1 performance was one of the worst performances I've seen from a wide receiver in a long time. He couldn't catch a ball to save his life week 1. But up next we have Ultra_Drew 2002. He says Nicholas Petit-Frere was supposed to be a dog for the Titans and an absolute steal in the draft, but turned out not even to be serviceable at tackle. I'm kind of glad dude's finally off the team. I didn't really hate Petit-Frere. He was okay, but he wasn't great.
We always wondered why Vrabel didn't start NPF, and I think now once we did start NPF, we understand why Vrabel didn't start him. He's lazy. He's not good at football. I don't like him, but he's not hated on my list.
Yeah. I agree. Up next, we have the depressed Titans fan. He says Isaiah Panda Wilson. We've already been over that a little bit. Up next, we have _Riggs1. He says, I wasn't a fan of Zach Mettenberger. That one kind of surprised me. I thought the Titans fan base kind of rallied around him in a comedic way because, he wasn't the greatest for the team, but he also had that personality, that fans can relate to. But was you a fan of Mettenberger?
I was young whenever we had Zach Mettenberger in there, and I didn't really keep up with his personality. I just know he absolutely sucked at football. Me and my dad would make fun of him constantly because of how bad he is. Yeah, I didn't like him. He might be the worst quarterback I've ever saw. Except for that guy we had in the preseason this year. Who was that? Tim Boyle? Tim Boyle and Zach Mettenberger, they're hand in hand.
Oh, no, it was it was Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle. Yeah, I think he's currently on the Atlanta Falcons. Up next, we have Luke Davis 201. He says Traylon Burks, which that's the infamous name in Titans history, Traded a franchise wide receiver to get this guy who he thinks is going to replace him. Turns out he did not. Then he joins the Commanders and turns out to be an all-star for them. So we'll see how he plays this year for the Commanders, but he's also on that list of players I really do not like.
Can't stand him.
We also have a guy that responded to Luke here. He says it was Justin Cards. He says, take it back with a little angry emoji. He says he dunked on Jair, and I loved him ever since.
He did have a takeover game against Jair Alexander and the Packers in that snowy, blizzard wilderness up in the frozen tundra, but that's about the only highlights he's ever had. Actually, I don't hate Traylon Burks. I made a lot of money betting his under every game his last year for us.
That's not a bad choice there. But up next, we have Scobie Bryant, 24. He says, I know he's not a player, but Brian Callahan, he's an absolute joke. If he was a player, he'd probably be lowest on my list, in my opinion.
I mean, he's just not a good coach.
No.
He's not a good coach, but I don't hate him for that. You can't blame him for coming to the Titans and getting paid all these billions and millions and trillions of dollars. That's on Amy Adams Strunk and the general manager.
I did see, did you see where he's at now?
Mm-mm.
He's the New York Giants quarterback coach. I think he's also over there with, who was it? He signed Brandon Allen just a couple weeks ago, the Giants did. Up next, we have Jeffrey Simmons' lover. He says Azeez Al-Shire, which we've been over that. My opinion, I don't hate the guy. He's a good player, but bad mindset, in my opinion. We also have somebody commenting saying they agree on that one. And then up next, we have Arlen_615. He says Teair Tart. That's the name I hadn't heard in a while. Tart, I thought he was actually pretty good for the team, in all honesty. He had that game against the Chargers where he had, the pick six?
Yeah, he was just lazy, I feel like. He was very lazy and out of shape. I just don't think he was good for the culture.
Yeah. Then up next, we have Alex Belcher _3. Right now, Dan Moore. Dan Moore's been that you've mentioned it a couple weeks ago. We also always have that one offensive lineman that's absolutely terrible. I think Dan Moore fits that category right now.
Dan Moore is atrocious at football. Dan Moore, he's just horrible. I agree. He's probably actually, outside of Restrepo, he's probably my most hated on the team right now that we got rid of L'Jarius Sneed.
But up next, we have Emerald Evan 11, the Emerald one. He obviously is a Atlanta Falcons fan. He says it's Tua now. Which, I feel your pain over there.
I'm a Tua believer still.
Then up next, we're going to get our pre-draft record predictions. We're going to go through our opponents and see where we think the Titans stand and if we will make the playoffs this year. Now, we're going to get into what our pre-draft record prediction is for the Tennessee Titans. We don't know the order of the schedule yet. That'll be in a couple of weeks. We'll be figuring out if we have any primetime games, which I hope we do, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But we're going to get started with our record prediction here. So first off, Luke, you can go ahead and get started with your record prediction.
All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to go by the division opponents first of all. First, when we get to the Texans, and I think it's just a tradition at this point that the Titans are going to lose at least one game to the Texans. So I think we're going to go 1-1 there. We're going to split that. I think we're going to win the home one. We'll lose the away one. Here's a little controversy. I think we're going to sweep the Colts. I think we're going to beat them at our house and their house. I don't think the Colts are going to be near as what they were last season. They don't have Phillip Rivers after all. So I think we're going to sweep the Colts, and then we're going to split this series against the Jaguars. So overall, in the division, we're going to be 4-2, which I think is a pretty good record for the Tennessee Titans. Then we're going to go to our home opponents. So to get our 5th win, we're going to beat the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. I think Cam Ward's going to once again prove that he is better than Shedeur Sanders, and I think the Titans will win up against the Jets, another pretty bad team. I think we're going to get another victory. Give us the win over the Jets to get our 6th win. Then the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. These are 2 losses from Pennsylvania teams that I think we're going to take, regardless of who the Steelers quarterback is. Aaron Rodgers, who I hope he comes back for one more year. I don't know, though. I think we're going to drop 2 right there to the Steelers and to the Eagles. So right now we're sitting at 6 wins and 4 losses. But 6-4 is pretty good so far throughout the season. Then we get to the Washington Commanders, who I think are going to have a bounce back year. We're going to get another loss, unfortunately, to bring us to 6-5. Now we go on the road to the Ravens, where we lose again. We're 6-6. Then to the Bengals, where we lose. We're 6-7. Then I have us getting a shock win over the Dallas Cowboys. I hope it's on Thanksgiving. I doubt it's going to be. 7-7. The Titans are sitting at 500 with 3 games left to play. I think we drop 1 to the Detroit Lions, a very good team. So we're sitting at 7-8. The last 2 games are 2 big wins for the Tennessee Titans over the Raiders and the Giants, finishing the Titans at 9-8. And I think that we're going to probably just be out of the playoffs. Unless our division is really bad, I think that'll just be slightly out of the playoffs.
That's fair. I mean, starting off with mine, I agree with you. I think we will be 4-2 through all of the division games. I think we're going to sweep the Colts, split with Texans and Jags. I do think we're going to beat the Browns. I do think we're going to beat the Jets. I do think we're going to beat the Steelers. You know what? I think we beat the Browns, Jets, Eagles, and Steelers. I think we beat all of them.
Okay.
You know, the Eagles, they will be trading away A.J. Brown in June. They announced that. So they will be needing a wide receiver. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but I do think the Eagles will be much worse than they was this season. Getting a new offensive coordinator in there, I do not think they're going to be a good football team. The Steelers, they've kind of been on that fringe team, you know, kind of average. I think if they go Will Howard, they're going to be much worse, especially with Mike McCarthy as coach. The only thing that scares me about the Steelers is their defense. I don't think that's great, in all honesty. But then we got the Washington Commanders. I do think we will lose that one to the Commanders at home. I think that will be our either one of 2 of our only losses at home this year. So that puts me at
8-3.
8-3. And then up next, we got the Baltimore Ravens. I do think we win that one. I do not think the Ravens are a great football team.
Nate.
So I do think we beat the Ravens. I do think we lose to the Bengals. So that would be, what, 9-5?
9-4.
9-4. So Cowboys, I think we lose that one, 9-5. I think we lose to the Lions, 9-6. And I do think we beat these last 2 games. I think we beat the Raiders. I do think we beat the Giants. I do not think the Giants are a great football team, and a lot of people think they will make the playoffs. And I just think with their star player, if you look at Jackson Dart and if you look at Cam Skattebo, they're 2 greatly injury-prone players, and I don't think they have the capability to stay upright throughout the season. So that puts me with the Titans having an 11-6 record for this year for the 2026 season. I think it's possible. This always happens. I get my hopes up, think we're going to have a great year. Turns out 3-14. Probably going to be 4-13 this year. Who knows? But that's going to wrap up my record predictions, and now we're going to bring on Evan and Boston for theirs.
All right, y'all, it's Boston and Evan here, and we are now going to get into the pre-draft record predictions. And so, Evan, do you want to start us off with our divisional home games?
All right, I think that divisional home, we're going to lose to the Texans, but we're going to beat both the Colts and the Jags at home.
It's a fair, interesting point. So for me, we're actually going to lose to the Texans at home. We're going to beat the Colts at home, and then the Jags, we are going to lose. I just think that probably the Texans and Jags got our number there for that one. So what do you think about the away divisional games, Evan?
Okay, now the divisional away, I have them beating the Texans away, and then also beating the Jags, and then losing to the Colts. So that'll put us 4-2 for our divisional.
So pretty similar as Luke and Nate with your predictions there. And so for me, I have us beating the Texans away. They're in NRG, and then I have us losing to the Colts actually away. I think that might be a little bit of an upset loss. And then the Jags, I have us losing as well. I think they have our number this year. So that's what I have for our away divisional games. So now for our home games for the Titans, Evan, what do you have for your predictions?
All right, for our home games, I have us, winning to the Browns. I have us winning to the Jets, winning to the Eagles, losing to the Steelers, and then winning against the Commanders.
Man, I have a little bit different of predictions for the Titans at home this year. I have the Browns taking a win over the Titans, so the Titans will have a home loss there. I have the Jets losing to the Titans, so the Titans will get a pretty dominant victory, in my opinion there. Jets aren't that good. And so for the Eagles, I have the Titans taking a loss to them as well. They have a pretty solid team. Then the Steelers, this is honestly a toss-up game for me. I'm not really sure what it will be, but I'm predicting that the Steelers will get a win and that the Titans will lose. And then I have against the Commanders at home, Titans getting the victory, the W, and that's my predictions for the home games to wrap up. So we're going to go into the away games. What are you having for your predictions, Evan?
All right, to start the away, I'm going to have them losing to the Ravens. I have them losing to the Bengals. I have them beating the Cowboys. I have them losing to the Lions, and then winning against the Raiders, and then against probably one of my favorite teams for next season, I have them losing to the Giants, which is going to be a little controversial.
Yeah, so I have kind of a similar path to you, but it's a little bit different. So for the Ravens away game, I have the Titans losing, the Ravens getting the W there. I actually went a little bit opposite of you. I have the Bengals losing to the Titans. So the Titans are going to get a win at the Bengals Stadium. They're in Cincinnati. I think they will get that. And then for the Cowboys, I actually have us getting a loss there. I think they have our number on that game. So, and then going into the Lions away game, I think the Titans will lose. I just don't really know if I see us winning that. Then the Raiders, obviously, I think that'll be a win unless, Fernando Mendoza goes to them and just absolutely pops off, which could happen. Might have to pull from my boy Fernando, bro. So, and then for the Giants, I have us getting a away win. I think actually with a lot of their injuries and just inconsistency with like Scadaboo, all their players partially, not partially, but getting injured really, really a lot of the time that they're on the team, I think we can get that win there. So those are our predictions. And for my season record, I give the Titans a 7 wins and 10 losses. So going for 7 for 10. And then I think you had...
And then for mine, I'm kind of the opposite. I have us going 10 wins and 7 losses and actually having a really solid season.
Hey, 10-7 ain't bad, and 7-10 is not good, but it's not horrible either.
It's better than last year.
Yeah, better than 4-13.
Yeah, especially if they use Xavier Restrepo. I think that 10-7 would be really possible, and I know that Luke would agree with me there.
Oh yeah, Luke, he loves Weapon X.
Yep.
Weapon X going to carry this team.
Yeah, that chemistry is going to be amazing, and we're going to have a good record this coming season.
Heck yeah.
I think that they barely make the playoffs, and then they probably lose in the second round.
I don't see the Titans making the playoffs this year, honestly. I think the division might be a little bit better than normal. I don't know. This draft is just shaping up things to be really interesting with how high of a talent ceiling I think that this draft brings into the league. Not saying that all our division is going to have these really high picks, which they kind of do, but
I don't think they have too high of picks. Are any of the division rivals even in the top 10?
The Colts and Jags don't have first-round picks.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so
The Texans pick, I think, 29 or 30.
yeah, so the Titans have, with their division rivals, a pretty good pick, and also they have a lot of moves that they made, so it's very likely. I think that they're going to make the playoffs and then probably go out in the second round.
Yeah. It's honestly a toss-up, but we'll have to just wait and see on the season. It's going to be a good one. All right, y'all. So that's our preseason, pre-draft game predictions for this year. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you.
Okay, now we're going to get started with the final mock draft we are going to be doing before the Titans end up picking their players here for the 2026 draft. So the way this is going to work, it's going to be kind of like a simulation, and we're going to pick what we think the Titans would pick in that scenario. So I'm going to hit start, and it's going to automatically simulate the first 3 picks, and we'll see what ends up happening here. Okay, so first off, it's kind of what we expect. Oh, no, it's not.
Mendoza, Reese, Bailey.
Reese to the Chiefs. So we have Fernando Mendoza going number 1 to the Raiders. Then apparently the New York Jets is going to trade with the Chiefs. Yeah, from pick 9 to 2, Chiefs taking Arvell Reese. Then the Arizona Cardinals taking David Bailey, which we mentioned earlier, which is a possibility. Now I think there's only one option here. I know a lot of people want Sonny Styles, but we talked about it earlier. Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I'm down. Jeremiah Love, let's lock it in.
So, we're going to pick him for the Titans. And let's see who's available round 2, which I'm kind of curious. A lot of the guys I was hoping to fall did not. So, Chris Brazel went right before us, too.
We got to go defense, though, probably.
Yeah, probably here. What do you think about corner?
Sounds good to me.
I'm thinking either corner or edge, T.J. Parker.
T.J. Parker on edge or corner, we need both positions pretty bad.
I think Parker would probably be the better out of the two.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pick up T.J. Parker round 2 here. We're going to go to round 3 now. Oh, what in the world happened? Now we're at round 3, pick 66. I think this is where you kind of either need a receiver, corner, something around the lines of that. If you look here, I think Elijah Surratt's the choice here.
Oh, yeah, from Indiana?
Yeah, I'm surprised he fell that far.
Yeah, take
round
him.
3? Yeah, we have to.
National champion.
And then we're going to go to pick, what's this pick? Pick 101. I think this is round 4, I believe. I think here you need to pick up a corner I think corner is probably the best option here. Looking at what's around here, I think either Chandler Rivers or Will Lee III.
Yeah, these are the rounds that you just got to decide what position do you need and pick the best available, unless you really have a guy that you want.
There is one guy I want to mention here. Let me see if it might have already been took here. No, he's still available. Inez Cooper. He's apparently Cam Ward's favorite offensive lineman he's ever played with. So I think if he's available later on, I think that's a guy to look out for.
We took Cam Ward's favorite wide receiver, and that didn't work out too good for us.
Yet. Future All-Star.
Okay.
But up next, we have 2 picks in the next three, yeah. So we're at pick 142 now. Here you could go a lot of different ways.
One of these guys has to be an offensive lineman, I would say. Don't you think?
Yeah. Not a lot around here, though. Goodness gracious. It's center Matt Golban. Yeah, we need a center. I wouldn't mind that, yeah. Matt Golban from Michigan State going to pick 142. And up next, we're at pick 144. Do we have any more?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 more. 3. Okay. So here, what's available? Nothing really that stands out that much. I mean,
I think now we just got to go depth, probably corner, edge, or offensive lineman.
corner I think would probably be a good move. You think Devin Marshall from NC State?
Sure.
Pick up Devin here.
Or wide receiver. We could probably use another wide receiver here. Maybe even a running back, because the Titans love to draft running backs in the 5th, 6th, 7th round.
Yeah, we're on pick 184 now. A couple of tight ends. Caden Curry, that's a name that I'm surprised it's available here.
Let's get him, man. Ohio State. I feel like at these draft picks, you want to go for like good schools who have been tested in deep waters, like the SEC, like the Alabamas, Ohio States, teams like that. Like I don't want to get anyone from the University of Samoa.
Oh yeah. This is the one I just mentioned earlier. I know you're probably going to dislike this, but he's probably around this pick, Inez Cooper. We do need an offensive guard. We do need a right guard. You know, Kevin Zeitler's probably not going to be here anymore. I wouldn't mind getting him up for a depth piece just to see how he does. Inez
Yeah,
Cooper.
we can cut him by training camp.
I think Luke has a reputation of hating former Miami players, but We're back with pick number 225. I believe this is the last. I think let's just get crazy here and pick something that.
Is the kicker from Arkansas available? Can you check on that?
Oh, yeah, I can check. Let's see. Position.
I really want the kicker from Arkansas. It don't matter if it's going to take that long.
There it is. Trey Smack is the best available, I think.
Trey Smack. He's not from Arkansas. The guy from Arkansas must have already been taken.
Yep.
It's unfortunate.
No Arkansas kicker, but man, there's not really.
When in doubt,
I
take
think
a tackle.
safety.
Safety? Sure. Let's lock in safety.
Let's see what's up here. Couple of good tight ends. Jacoby Thomas, Miami. Hey, another Miami player.
Another Miami player? We don't want the University of Miami, Nate. They've not won a national championship in my lifetime.
They did produce Cam Ward though.
We'll see how good Cam Ward is.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and pick up Jacoby Thomas here. Last pick of the draft here. Let's see what it grades us. I'm kind of curious to see what it A minus.
A minus ain't bad.
It gave us an A plus for Jeremiah Love here. Wow, it gave the Cardinals a C plus for taking David Bailey. That's kind of surprising to me. I'm kind of surprised. A lot of the players that's going around here is players that I've predicted.
Carnell Tate went pretty high on this one at 5.
Wow. I know I've been mocking Caden Proctor, Dylan Thiemann. I've been mocking these two the same with those teams. Messidor here, I'm kind of surprised. Where did Omar Cooper go?
I love Caden
Cooper
Proctor.
went to the Browns, 24. Wow. Bain to the Jets.
He fell out of the top 10.
Who, Bain?
No, sorry, he's at 9.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't expect Tyson over Lemon as well. But gave us an A plus. We got an A plus for Jeremiah Love, an A for TJ Parker, A minus for Elijah Sherratt, Chandler Rivers a B, Matt Goldman a B, Devin Marshall a B, Caden Curry A minus, Inez Cooper B, and Jacoby Thomas a B.
Not bad.
So I think we did pretty good considering we're not NFL GMs or anything, but we do want to thank you all for watching episode 23 of the Titan Talk podcast. We are so close to the NFL draft. It is tomorrow of the day of this is being published, so you can catch us here tomorrow for the watch party for the round 1 reaction recap. We're going to be doing all that live on a live stream on YouTube. You can catch us on the Titan Talk YouTube channel for that. We're also going to be doing recaps for rounds 2 through 7 on the next few days, and we're going to be giving our recap on that. And we also will be doing a Titan Talk episode on Sunday. It'll be episode 24, and you can catch us back here for that, and we'll catch you all then.
Tighten up.